Welcome to the Narrative Mindset Podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, I would really appreciate it if you go back and view earlier episodes to get the gist of things. Are we failing our boys? Candid look at overlooked challenges. You're likely familiar with the ongoing vital conversations surrounding gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls. These conversations have greatly reshaped our societies, leading to significant progress. But amidst this crucial dialogue, you might find yourself asking a more uncomfortable question, one that often whispers from the periphery. Are we, in our earnest pursuit of progress, inadvertently overlooking the challenges facing boys? Are we, in fact, failing them in critical ways within modern parenting, education, and our broader cultural narratives? It's a question that demands your honest consideration, not to diminish the struggles of any group, but to ensure that all young people have the support they need to thrive. When you delve into the data, the emerging societal trends, and the personal stories, a concerning picture begins to form. You'll discover that boys from early childhood through adolescence and into young adulthood face a unique set of pressures and an increasing lack of tailored support that is crucial to their healthy development. Let's explore where these blind spots might lie and, crucially, understand why addressing them is an imperative for all of us. Consider your own observations of modern parenting. There's an undeniable shift towards emotional intelligence, open communication, and nurturing sensitivity. These are laudable goals, fostering children who are more empathetic and self aware. However, for boys, this laudable evolution sometimes comes with unintended consequences. You might notice a subtle or not subtle pressure for boys to conform to a narrower spectrum of emotional expression, to be gentle, to be articulate about their feelings in ways traditionally associated with girls, and to suppress behaviors often inherent to male development, like rough and tumble play or a natural inclination towards physical risk taking. Think about the shrinking opportunities for boys to engage in autonomous, exploratory play, the kind where they build forts, climbing trees, or engage in competitive, physical demanding games without constant adult supervision. These activities, often dismissed as mere boyish antics, are vital laboratories for developing resilience, problem solving skills, social hierarchies, and understanding boundaries. When you strip away these outlets, replacing them with structured activities or screens, you deny boys crucial pathways for expanding energy, learning limits, and fostering a sense of independent mastery that is often central to their self esteem. Moreover, while you're encouraged to teach boys emotional literacy, are we equally adept at validating all their emotions, including anger or frustration, and teaching them healthy ways to channel these powerful feelings? Or do we sometimes inadvertently convey that good boys are simple, quiet, compliant, and always happy? This complex dynamic and natural inclinations are somehow problematic, struggling to reconcile their inherent drive with societal expectations. Now, turn your attention to the educational system, where a significant boy problem has been quietly escalating for decades. You've likely seen the statistics. Boys are, on average, more likely to struggle academically, particularly in literacy. They receive more disciplinary referrals. They have higher dropout rates in some regions, and they are now significantly less likely than girls to enroll and compete in higher education. What's going on? Consider the typical classroom environment. It often prioritizes sitting still, verbal expression, and fine motor skills, areas where, developmentally, many boys mature later than girls. You might observe that the emphasis on role learning, extended periods of desk work, and less hands on experimental learning can be particularly challenging for boys who thrive on movement, competition, and kinetics engagement. For these boys, an educational model that doesn't cater to their distinct learning styles can lead to disengagement, frustration, and a misdiagnosis of behavior issues instead of recognizing a mismatch in methodology. Furthermore, the decline in male teachers, especially in elementary schools, means fewer male role models in daily academic life. You might underestimate the unconscious impact of having positive male figures who demonstrate a love for learning, mediate conflicts, and model pathways to successful masculinity within the academic context. When you consider the diminishing emphasis on vocational and trade schools, pathways that historically provided engaging, hands on careers for many boys, you see a system that increasingly narrows the definition of success, potentially leaving a significant segment of the male population feeling sidelined and disenfranchised from the very institutions designed to uplift them. Finally, let's let us reflect on the broader cultural narratives that shape how boys perceive themselves and their place in the world. You're living in a time where traditional notions of masculinity are being vigorously and often justifiably scrutinized. The term toxic masculinity has entered common parlance, rightly challenging harmful behaviors like aggression, misogyny, and emotional repression. However, in this necessary deconstruction, you might also sense a void emerging, a lack of positive, constructive narratives for what healthy masculinity does look like. Where do boys find compelling, aspirational models of manhood that are not steeped in outdated stereotypes, yet still acknowledge and celebrate admirable male traits like courage, protectiveness, resilience, and acquired strength? When the prevailing culture message often frames traditional male attributes as inherently problematic, many boys are left without a clear map. They may internalize a confusing message that their innate drive for competition, for mastery, or even for physical expression is inherently flawed. You see this play out in the alarming rates of male suicide, especially among young men, and in mental health statistics that show boys and men struggling to seek help for depression, anxiety, and loneliness. The societal pressure to be strong and stoic, combined with the fear of being labeled toxic if they express traditional masculinity traits, creates an impossible bind. When you factor in the increasing rates of fatherlessness, the absence of consistent positive male mentorship, and the fragmented, often hypersexualized or violent representations of men in media, it becomes clear that boys are navigating a complex cultural landscape without adequate guidance or positive affirmations of their identity. So, why does any of this matter to you? Because failing our boys isn't just a boy problem, it's a societal problem. When boys disengage from education, you lose potential innovators, leaders, and contributors to your communities. When young men struggle with mental health, identity crisis, or a sense of purposelessness, the ripple effects are felt in families, in workplaces, and in the fabric of society itself. A healthy society strives when all its members are given the tools, the understanding, and the support to reach their full potential. Overlooking the unique challenges faced by boys is not about prioritizing one gender over another. It's about recognizing the diverse needs of all children. It's about acknowledging that just as girls benefit from tailored support to dismantle systematic barriers, boys too need specific attention to navigate the complexities of their development in a rapidly changing world. You have to collectively responsibility to ask these difficult questions, to challenge assumptions, and to look critically at how we're raising, educating, and defining manhood for the next generation. It's time to move beyond simplistic narratives, to foster open dialogue, and to ensure that we are not, in our pursuit of a better world for some, inadvertently failing to build a strong foundation for all our children. The future of your society depends on it. Thanks for tuning in to the Narrative Mindset Podcast. I hope to see you in the next episode.